we are going to talk about another movie. And this movie just released in theaters and it is called The Gray Man. And why are we so excited about this movie? Is because we have so many favorite actors in this movie. We got Ryan Gosling, we got Chris Evans, we got Ana de Armas, we got Billy Bob Thornton, and also we got Dhanush. So, with all those actors, Michael and I have already watched the movie in theaters long back. So, we're going to tell you about it. We're going to tell you how we enjoyed it. And, Michael, what do you feel about it?
Look, when I hear that Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans are starring in a movie together, I already get excited, right? Like this had an amazing cast. It was also directed by the Russo brothers, which is another positive check mark. Like you're expecting some great things. You watch the trailer and you're like, holy shit, like this is going to be pretty good. I'm so excited for it to come out. And I can tell you that this movie certainly lived up to the hype. So, to kind of give you a brief overview, we're given the gift of watching Ryan Gosling, Chris Evans, and Ana de Armas collab, and a fury and pricey thriller that even has, as M would like to call it, wet ware beneath and muscle kebab. We are meeting our hunk hot list criteria here, and I will give her the floor to talk about that later. But with that said, we see Gosling like in the modern day. He is transformed into a slick killing machine known only as Sierra 6. And he's a tired shell, only suitable for transmitting, the pretty much he's the person that you don't want to get on the wrong side of. Like he got on the wrong side of the feds, and that's who he is. But he has a conscience, and he refuses to work for his manipulating boss after he refuses to endanger a child. So things are getting good. We see a guy who's there morally, but also is capable of just destroying an entire army. But then, moving on, Gosling comes into conflict with Chris Evans, who is a deranged mercenary, as they're both sent to retrieve a vital USB drive. And so with that, the Gray Man is really showing you this, it's kind of like this new age spy movie that we really like. I'm watching this and I'm thinking like almost Mission Impossible kind of, but lots of action, lots of hunk. I'm going to give it to M for the preview just a little bit on that.
Okay, guys. Firstly, and foremostly, I am a Gosling because I love Gosling. Or bad joke. But okay, so I went for Ryan Gosling. I'm a huge Ryan Gosling. I'll do anything for Gosling. I mean, it got his like wallpapers all over the place. I go for Gosling. And then I see Gosling. Gosh. And I don't need to see anything else after that. You see. So there's this opening scene in which, he's in prison. And this is 2 decades ago. And then he's gagging at Billy Bob Thornton. And Billy Bob Thornton is supposed to be a CIA spook. And he said, we get it, you're glib. Taunton says, then Gosling looks at him with those eyes. And, oh gosh, that was it. That was dead right there. So
That's how you sell a film, Hollywood. That's how you sell the film.
Totally, those eyes. That's how you sell that. So, by the way, Gosling's name here is Sierra 6. So he's like, why are you 6? He's like, because 7 was taken. I loved it. Yes, 7 was taken. But hell, they are trying to retrieve a USB drive in 2022. Which spy thriller is going after? Whereas it's 2 grown-up men fighting and trying to retrieve a USB drive. A USB drive, my head exploded. Our tech heads really exploded. They're still fighting over a bloody thumb drive in 2022 in a spy thriller. But the Russo brothers probably haven't really stepped into our metaverse. But hey,
they're not fighting over a coin wallet yet.
They're not fighting over a coin wallet yet. They're still going after that USB drive.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're still making movies about crooks who do anything, they'll kill. But they will not go rogue because they won't kill a kid. They still have a conscience. And I love, there's nothing more attractive than Gosling with a conscience. So yeah, on paper, Greyman has all the elements of a cliched spy genre. It has all the components. It's like they put 6 movies in one. Russo brothers know exactly what they're doing. There's this thumb drive thing. There is an abducted niece. There are bureaucrats who are real criminals. There are wet squads stomping across airstrips and body shields. There are action scenes slicing to analysts flustered in like walls of data and videos. We imagine all these things. There are tense phone calls and multi-story skyscrapers. There are rooftop helipads, protected lands. There are like guys making bullets fall out of guns before the other guy can shoot them, and there's sexy women. All of it. High heels. Don't forget stilettos. And then they know what they're making, what kind of movie they're making, the quippy banter while they're shooting each other, their intense action sequences, super, 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 super stylized, and just a ton of fun. So this is what Greyman is all about. It is just a lot of cliched plots, a lot of, it's like Extraction and 007 and Mission Impossible and all the thrillers mixed together in one movie. It could be all those 20 movies all together come together in The Greyman.
And usually we're not a fan of cliche. Like a lot of times when we're reviewing cliche or like
not a fan at all of cliche, we call it out. But here it is cool.
It was very good.
Because Gosling wears scarlet, and he looks swole, and when Gosling can wear a scarlet suit and walk around, and
when the men in the theater are there to watch Gosling as well. When the men are there to also watch Gosling, that's how you know he's doing something right. But that's how you know the Russo brothers know how to costume this guy up.
He burns the screen. Not only does he burn the screen, so the camera work, the kinetic camera work is just brilliant. Okay, we were talking about John Wick last time when we were talking about Kuda Hafiz. Yep. This might give John Wick a run for his money. Yeah, let's just put it that way. And then, of course, Evans. Gosling and Evans together just fire chemistry.
Right. A combination I don't think has been seen in Hollywood either. Like, when you first see that, you're like, I haven't seen these two in a movie before. I haven't seen them in a similar movie before. But man, were they great. They were a great
combustible chemistry.
The only thing this was missing was Ryan Reynolds. That's the only thing
Oh my God, that would have completely scorched me totally, because I'm a Ryan Reynolds fan. I'd do anything for Ryan Reynolds. I'd just turn up to the next planet for Ryan Reynolds. If he goes to another planet, I'll follow Ryan Reynolds.
Here's the next movie pitch. We have Ryan Gosling, Chris Evans, Ryan Reynolds, all villains fighting over the same tech, but they joined
George Clooney.
Yeah, the George Clooney's the bad guy. That's what we'll say. He's the villain, right? And then, but these three have to come together, because if they don't, George Clooney will end the world or something, and these three save the world. I think that's the next movie pitch.
I like your script. Approved. Let's get it made.
It's original Daisy Live, original Red, White, and Brown. You saw it here first.
And it's copyrighted. Don't steal our script.
Oh, great.
Okay, but I have to tell you guys, then there is this very special cameo by the Indian guest star Dhanush, and evidently, of course, for the sake of Indian eyeballs. But these action during the quippy repartee, and the conviction with which those action sequences are done are just phenomenal. I loved it. So Gosling Sierra Six's real name is actually Coatland Gentry. So he's a really cool names, dude.
Yeah.
I love his cool names.
Yeah.
And literally really cool action hero names. And Evans, oh my god, he really hams it up for the most. But his wardrobe is like stylishly woven polo shirts. He's like James Bond's extremely neurotic little cousin. So he literally.
You want to know what's really funny about this movie is when you look up the Gray Man on Google, the first person that comes up is not Gosling. It's not Chris Evans. It's not even the Russo brothers.
It's Dhanush.
Yes.
And you know why?
Why is that?
Because Google doesn't base its hits on who's more relevant. It bases its hits on who gets hit most.
Yep.
Exactly. So Dhanush getting hit most because there are more people living in India than in America and elsewhere. So obviously Dhanush is coming up first is because to Grey Man, Dhanush is more relevant because there are more hits coming on Dhanush for Grey Man out of India.
Well, this movie deserves all the hits in the world because
it does. We thoroughly enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And of course, we have to mention that there's Ana de Armas here as well. Of course, yes. A character. Yes. Oh my god! So I have to tell you something. One thing that stood out here is that every other character had a backstory, but this woman didn't have a backstory. She had the obligatory heels. She had a lot of badassness to her. She had the crabbit when people yelled at her. But there was absolutely no backstory.
Like, a little bit that would have been nice.
For example, Gosling's character had a backstory. Evans' character had a backstory. Even Howard, for example, her character, the script doesn't give her a backstory at all. I was like, well, what happened here? Of course, there are, very spyish way. There is, many international stopovers that lead to violence. And many people dead, but there's a difference here. After many people dead, there's of course a hospital scene. So thank you for that. There's an aftermath of the killings. Finally, not like James Bond, kill and just move on to the next exotic
John Wick or
exotic spot, get a massage and a new girlfriend. That didn't happen here, but yeah, they did show a hospital scene.
Yeah,
slightly more humane, I guess. I guess Greyman, I think I loved it. I absolutely enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more for the. It's an out and out Hollywood thriller spy espionage movie where the momentum of the movie gets you,
and it's fun. It was
fun.
A fun.
You want to keep watching even though you know it's stupid.
Yeah, like. It's hard for a movie to come off as really fun. The last movie I said was really fun was Minions Rise of Gru, which I gave an exclusive review last week. And This was a completely different movie, completely different tone, but it was great. It was fun. And I highly recommend you to watch this, stream it as many times as you can on Netflix, maybe with enough traction. And we need your help with this. We can get Ryan Gosling on the next Red, White, and Brown. We can get him to tell us his inside scoop straight from the man's mouth. And what
absolutely.